Omagyantimirandasya Ganangana Shalakaya Chaksunamilitam Jena Tasmaya Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadanti Svapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakti Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama. Welcome. Rishikesh Kirtan Fest 2025. I think this is our fourth year, isn't it? Our fourth year, yeah. The other day when I arrived here, I think 2 days ago, we were very nicely received by the sadhus who lived here and the mahant who lived here, which is a very good sign. In his talk, I gave a talk and the mahant gave a talk, and he was saying that how pleased they were to have us here, overjoyed actually. I think it's the highlight of their year as far as functions are concerned. And he said that he was inviting us back year after year after year after year after year. So I thought that was very auspicious. And in the short talk I gave, I mentioned our good fortune, extremely good fortune, in having the opportunity to perform sankirtan here in Rishikesh. Sankirtan means the complete glorification of the Lord through chanting His holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Generally, when I think of sankirtan, I think of, Warsaw, London, New York, Moscow, Kiev, Adelaide, Kapstrad. I think of these towns because that's where the people are. So we go to where the people are. And certainly we're happy to go to heaven or hell to share the holy names. But here, we're sharing the holy names with the people from those towns and villages on the sacred banks of the Ganges. It's just some ironic, special twist in history. We get to preach here. I was thinking, Prabhupada sometimes used the term that when we're practicing devotional service, we're in the lap of Krishna. When I first heard that, I was listening to a lecture in 1972 or 73. Wow, on the lap of God. That's pretty intimate. But that's the purpose of this movement, to take us home back to the playground of God. Shri Brajbhumi, Shri Vrindavan. We really are in the lap of Krishna there. And here we're also in the lap of Krishna. I explained the other day that on one side we have the Himalayan mountains. On the other side we have the Ganges River. And there's a wind that flows down. It actually blows down. It's like, for a couple hours, it's like a small hurricane, right? If you get up early in the morning and you walk out. So how are we in the lap of Krishna? Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that of mountains, He's the Himalayas. And of rivers, He's the flowing Ganges. And of purifiers, I missed this the other day, He's the wind. So in three ways, we're being literally embraced by Krishna. We could even say that. We're being embraced by the Lord. By coming here, you get the embrace of Krishna. Of mountains, I'm the Himalayas. Of rivers, I'm the flowing Ganges. And of purifiers, I'm the wind. We're so blessed. You don't get that in New York, Rio de Janeiro, Sydney. So we get to preach to the same people. Amongst all those people, it's like, Manushanam sahasresu kashyatati siddhaya. And of thousands or millions upon people, perhaps a few will be interested in spiritual life. And those few are coming through these doors. This is a unique opportunity. I actually see it as one of the big yagyas of the year for ISKCON. That ISKCON means to share our good fortune with the public. So we're getting we say in French, le crème de la crème. C'est ça? C'est la crème de la crème. We're getting the cream of the cream of the people coming here. So we're blessed. And if we look at the history of the world through the eyes of Shastra, we see that devotees of the Lord, through Purana, through the history of the cosmos, they often choose holy places to begin or perform an auspicious function. Any type of auspicious function, it's just because it helps to have the support of the Dham. The Dham is the place where either Krishna appears or his representative, the Acharya, appear. So there's some special potency. When we come to Uttar Pradesh, we go to Mathura, the Janmabhoomi. Krishna appeared in Mathura. We know by going there, there's some special energy. And when we're in Vrindavan, it's the playground of God. We go to Ayodhya because Ram appeared there. We go to Bengal because... So to get the strength and inspiration, the purity to do what we do, we often start off in a holy place. There's many examples. When that day came, ended the Pura Yuga, Krishna went back to the spiritual world. He wound up his pastimes on this planet, and he went back to the spiritual world. That's the moment that Kali Yuga began. It's like night, we're enjoying the daytime, the evening comes, and then it becomes dark. Everyone goes into their homes. You don't want to stay out in the dark, it's dangerous. So as soon as Krishna left, the darkness, you could say the ignorance of Kali Yuga, it became manifest. And Maharaj Parikshit saw it. He was touring his kingdom. He saw people beating a cow. These things didn't happen in Dwapara, Treta, or Satya Yuga. So seeing that, the compassionate sages, because sages, real sages, are not only concerned about their own deliverance, they're actually concerned about the deliverance of everyone who they see as brother and sister. How do they see everyone as brother and sister? Because Krishna says he's the seed-giving father of all created beings. So if we all have the same father, that means we're brothers and sisters. So this is the vision of a sage. So they were concerned. Who was concerned? The sages of Naimisharanya. As soon as the darkness started to come, they went to a holy place to discuss what to do, how to resolve the evils of this age so people could take advantage of the human form of life, even though it's Kali Yuga. They went to the forest, the forest of Naimisharanya, which since time immemorial has been a holy place, and there they discussed. They were different sages, they had different ideas, they couldn't agree on one point. And then Sutta Goswami came and started giving the process of devotional service, which in the age of Kali means the Yuga Dharma. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And when that historic moment came, when the Pandavas were to uphold Dharma, because adharma was happening in the world, adharma. So to establish dharma, to do away with the Kurus, who were adharmic, the Pandavas chose the battlefield of Kurukshetra. It wasn't always a battlefield. Actually, when we went there one Kartik, was it last 2 years ago, we explained that Kurukshetra has been a holy place since time immemorial. So many pastimes have taken place there. So because of that sanctity of that place, the Pandavas thought they had an edge over the Kauravas. That's why. And the Kauravas were a little bit uneasy because they knew this is a sacred place. It will benefit the Pandavas, as it did. So there's another example. Going to a holy place to do the yajna, you get a benefit from the Dham. Another example is Maharaj Parikshit. What greater challenge is there to leave this body? What's your next destination? So he chose to go to the banks of the Ganges. Because the Ganges is the water of the spiritual world. It flows down into this material creation for the purification. of all those who live on the banks. If I'm going to leave my body, let me leave it in a sacred place. Srila Prabhupada is another example. When it came time for him to leave this world, he went back to Vrindavan. It's interesting, he took a little break, or the disciples encouraged him, hoping that Prabhupada would get better. Prabhupada came here to Rishikesh. There's those videos, you see Prabhupada cruising down very slowly the Ganges River in Rishikesh. For us, that's the real glory of this place. This is a glorious place. The rishis did yoga here. Ram, he came here and lived in one cave for some time. He gave his mercy to this Dham. But for us, the crowning glory of Rishikesh is that our Guru Maharaj, the Senapati Bhakta, who spread sankirtan all over the world, he came here. And when we go on Harinam, on the other side, maybe you saw already, we can point it out later, there's the house which Prabhupada lived in. So we feel very comfortable coming here. Although it's the abode of the yogis, the topmost bhakti yogi came here, Srila Prabhupada. Because he could understand this place is a sacred dham. Not only that, before Prabhupada began his yajna, his life was a lifetime in preparation for serving the order of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur to spread Krishna consciousness in the English-speaking language. He didn't just immediately fly or take a boat, he went to Vrindavan. And for 6 years, he prepared himself for the yajna. Where? In Vrindavan. This is what sadhus do. Kurukshetra, the bank of the Ganges, Naimisharanya. They feel the mercy of these places, so they come to prepare themselves or to serve in the Dham. So many examples are there. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to begin his mission, he went to Calcutta. Calcutta? Mayapur Dham, we know Mayapur Dham, Navadvip, the 9 islands. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared there. That's a holy dham. Why didn't Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur just stay in the dham? Actually, he took a vow to chant, what was it, 1 billion? 1 billion. 1 billion holy names of Krishna before he started his preaching. But he did it in the dham, the holy dham. That's where he did it, in the dham. And he was fulfilling that vow. He was living in a thatched hut that had holes in it. And when it was raining, he had an umbrella inside the hut. That's how renounced he was. He didn't have time to make it easier. He had this vow, 1 billion rounds. And one day he was walking, chanting his rounds in the countryside there. A piece of paper flew and landed at his feet. And that piece of paper was a torn page from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, or Chaitanya Bhagavat, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that his mission is that one day his holy name will be sung in every town and village of the world. That piece of paper, Chaitanya Bhagavat, he found that. So he picked it up, stopped chanting, went straight to Kolkata. I should be preaching. He just set an example how our sadhana is essential for our preaching. Enough of that. He went to Calcutta. So, we have the example of the sages of Naimisharanya, the Pandavas, Maharaj Parikshit. What's he going to Calcutta for? Calcutta was a name given to that place by the British, right? Or they changed the name. But originally, actually, I was reading in Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had one publication. It's called Sajjana Toshini. Like his son Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had The Harmonist, and Prabhupada had Back to Godhead magazine. So these great generals, they were starting up the machine by the Brihat Mridanga. The chanting can be heard on one block, but the Brihat Mridanga can be heard. So it all started with Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Sajjana Toshini. Many issues that came out, I think, thrice or 4 times a year. And I'm actually studying those Sajjana Toshinis now. They're hard to find. Our what's it called, BCR? Yeah, in Kolkata. They have some, there's some in the library, they're spread around the world. I'm trying to find them and mine the jewels, the nectar that are in that book. And I was reading in volume 9, issue 12, Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes that 500 years ago, Kolkata, as it's known now, was a village. It was just a village. It was called Varahan Agara. I never heard that before. Varahan Agara. And it was famous because one sadhu lived there. People go to New York because it's New York, New York. They go to Paris, la Gay Paris. But this village was famous because what? A close associate of Lord Chaitanya, his name was Bhagavat Acharya. He did his bhajan there. He was a close associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I was reading that, we know that when the Lord comes, he comes with his associates. So this Bhagavat Acharya was one intimate associate of Krishna who became an intimate associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the spiritual world, this Bhagavat Acharya is Shama Manjari. He has a special kunj in the spiritual world where, as a gopi, he serves Radha and Krishna. So that when he came here, this village was his kunj, where he was as a male figure, but serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's the combined form of Radha and Krishna. So he was having his pastimes there, and he wrote a book. I'm trying to find it. It's called Shri Krishna Prema Tarangini, which Bhaktivinoda Thakur said was an authorized book. So Mahaprabhu used to come from Navadvip just to meet this associate, the gopi in the spiritual world. Come regularly. And they would have discussions on Braj and Braj Bhakti. They'd dance in Kirtan for many hours. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he said, because Sri Varaha Angara, because it's a place of the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Gauda Mandala Bhumi, where Radha and Krishna, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had pastimes, he said that village is non-different than Vrindavan. And he concluded, because that village is now Kolkata, he said, Kolkata is non-different than Vrindavan. I read it in Sanjana Toshini. He sees like that. I couldn't believe it. It's a sacred place. Calcutta is a sacred place. Yeah, but when I go there, what does it look like? Well, what does Vrindavan look like today with all these high-rise buildings and this and that? But we see through the Shastra, a sadhu, he sees not with his eyes but through his ears. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, this village became a city, but because it's a place where Mahaprabhu danced in ecstasy with a great devotee of his, he went regularly. He considered it non-different than Vrindavan. So Vrindavan and Mayapur are non-different, so it's part of Gauda Mandala Bhumi. That's how he concluded. It's part of the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the 9 islands. It's the extension of Navadvip Dham, actually. Kolkata. That's right there in black and white in the pages. So therefore we can conclude that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, who obviously read Sajjana Toshini, and he could see these things anyway, he chose to do his mission in that holy place where Mahaprabhu danced in ecstasy. So following in the footsteps of the sages of Naimisharanya who came together to figure out how to counteract the evils of this age. In the mood of the Pandavas, they chose Kurukshetra to establish Dharma. Maharaj Parikshit went to the bank of the Ganges. Prabhupada went to Vrindavan to prepare himself. We've come to Rishikesh to prepare ourselves for the yajna, but the special blessing is the yajna is also here. Prabhupada went to America. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati sent his preachers all over India. But we have the blessing to be here, preparing for ourselves and doing the yajna here. I mentioned in conclusion the other day that Prahlada Maharaja, and we are followers of Prahlada Maharaja, he's one of the 12 mahajans, the authorities in devotional service. That famous verse in Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto. He said, I'm not interested in going to the Himalayas and become a yogi, which includes Rishikesh, become a yogi and become self-realized. I prefer to stay in the towns and the villages and the cities where the people are and preach Krishna consciousness. So we have that mood as well. We want to be in the big cities. Why? Because that's where the people are. We can preach to them. That's our life and that's our soul. We also hanker to come to Vrindavan and Mayapur and Rishikesh and Ayodhya because we know that in that atmosphere we can become surcharged. ISKCON's terminologies, we can, our batteries can be recharged. But we have the best of both worlds now. We get to live in a holy place, and we just wait for the people to come through those doors. We're actually blessed. We don't have to go back to see the people. We just sit here, Hare Krishna, worship our deities, take bath in the Ganges. In the evening we come, they're pouring in. So we are supremely blessed, and despite whatever austerities we have to perform here, this is not 5-star accommodation. It's not 4-star accommodation. It's not 3-star, it's -3. You look at some of the bathrooms, oh my God. And only half the time my hot water works. And you get up in the morning, freezing cold. We don't care. Austerities are the wealth of the Brahman because we have so much good fortune. That sun comes up, it's nice and warm. Go bathe in Mother Ganges every day, you know. In the old days, we would come to India once a year maybe. I remember in the 70s, once every 3 years we'd come. We'd bathe in Mayapur a few days, and we'd bathe in the... Here, 5 weeks. If you want, you can go bathe every day. Look at the Himalayas. If that's all you do, that's devotional service. You're looking at Krishna. If nothing else, just get up when that wind, it starts around, 4 in the morning, something like that, till 5, 9. This morning, I just went and stood like this. Our purifiers having the wind. Come on, Cheto, Darpa, and Marjanam. Get rid of the lust, the anger, the greed. This is easy. I was breathing in the purification, looking at the Ganges, looking at the Himalayas. Plus, I was doing the Yuga Dharma. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare. And starting tomorrow, we're going to preach the glories of the Holy Name. Sri Nam Prabhu. We say Sri Nam Prabhu. Prabhu means a person. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Vigraha means form. There's no difference between Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan, and his holy name. And another issue of Sajjana Toshani, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, within the Hare Krishna Mahamantra are all of Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. All the moods of Vrindavan, all the rasas of Vrindavan, all the personalities in Vrindavan. It's all there in those 3 names, composed as Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So when you're chanting, as you know, you're getting that personal association with Krishna. He's so kind. One time Prabhupada said in a lecture, here's Krishna, take him. It takes Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sadurla. It takes many lifetimes to have that darshan of Krishna. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more merciful. And Prabhupada is more merciful than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because Mahaprabhu spread the movement in India, but his desire was a Senapati Bhakta. Srila Prabhupada would go to the West, he gave that service. So Prabhupada said, when you're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna's dancing on the tip of your tongue. You get mercy. And when we come together in Kirtan, because it's the loud chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, we benefit. Your mind doesn't wander, I hope, in Kirtan. Your mind's not wandering. You're hearing. So you get more, because in every Kirtan, there's young devotees, intermediate, there's always advanced devotees. So you're hearing the chanting of all these Vaishnavas. Prabhupada said the chanting of Hare Krishna is especially potent when it's heard from advanced devotees. So we have so many advanced devotees are coming this year to chant for all of us. We just have to sit and listen. Cheto Darpa Namarjana. I mean, that little seed of bhakti, it's just coming right out of the earth, just barely a little creeper like that. So Sri Nam, he's merciful when you're doing japa. You could say a little more merciful when you chant in congregation, because that's the actual formula that Mahaprabhu brought. There were sages chanting Hare Krishna, doing bhajans, but he brought the sankirtan movement, which means many people come together at one time and chant very loudly. Easier for Krishna to hear. Very loud chanting, many devotees. But when those devotees take the chanting to the non-devotees, because Krishna wants to rescue all his sons and daughters, when the Vaishnavas take the chanting to the streets with a non-devotee, then Nam-Prabhu is very merciful. That's his most merciful form of Sri Nam. So that's what we're doing. People are coming in. We're here for the people. This is the mood always. I like to perform I love the Kirtan Melas where all the devotees come together. But this is my favorite type of Kirtan Mela, like we have on the Polish tour for so many years. We're chanting for the people, and we go on the streets of the big cities. Somehow there's a special flavor because Sri Nam Prabhu is very merciful. So we're just supremely blessed. We're going to get so much mercy. And what will we do with that mercy? We'll give it back out again. 1 minus 1 equals 1,000,000 in spiritual mathematics. So by giving our hearts and souls, working very hard, there's a lot of hard work on this tour. You know, you're going to be tired after 2 weeks and there's still 3 weeks more to go. You know what it's like. We work hard. Our bodies get tired. But that little bhakti beach, it's growing and growing and growing. So Sankirtan devotees, they love the festivals where we go to the people and we give it to the people. And they take it as it comes. Some of them, it will blossom in next lifetime. Some of them will remember us with fondness, remembering a Vaishnava, remembering the holy name, and some of them will become devotees. Just like you remember Anna, that black-bodied girl who was here a few years ago, tall girl. She used to be a model. She was chanting with us and coming in. Now she joined the movement in New York City. I saw a photo. She's chanting 16 rounds. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. So Dvijavara saw that. He was asking if she could come and join us because she doesn't have any money. So we arranged a ticket for her, so she'll be joining us in a week or two. But many of you have had the experience of people who came in contact with us. They can't forget us, so they're also going to come. I don't know how this hall is going to be too small. I think the first couple of days, it's just people are just starting to come, so we may not have a big crowd the first few days, but quality, always quality. Quality and quantity. That's the Kirtan, the Rishikesh Kirtan Fest. Quality and quantity. So savor every moment. This is like gold for devotees. We all like to practice and we all like to preach. So you get good practice. Get up early. Look at the mountains. Look at the river. Breathe in the wind. Enjoy the advanced association. So many kirtaneers and so forth and so on. But when you see the people walking through that gate, that's perfect. That's another flood. There's two rivers flowing here. I said the other day, there's the Ganges and there's the river of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, inspiring all his people. So we have 2 rivers, purifying wind, the Ganges. We are blessed and we'll use those blessings as best we can to give that taste which comes from chanting Hare Krishna to the people. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare. We're already liberated. It's only a question of time. We live for the people. That's our existence. We live for the purpose of sharing. That was Prabhupada. That was Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. That was Bhaktivinoda Thakur. They lived only to give Krishna consciousness. So if we serve their mission in this world, we qualify ourselves to serve them one day in the spiritual world. We are blessed. So enjoy your blessings and share it as much as you can. Dance, chant. If you're a preacher, take people aside. We've got special programs this year. Dvijavara will explain everything. I went way over my time. I only had 15 minutes. I took 32 minutes, but I'll turn the microphone over to Dvija. Big round of applause for him and Svalakshana. And even before we began, a big round of applause for Rasika and Govinda, who collected every single rupee, pound, dollar to put this festival on. She's coming in 5 days. Big round of applause for all yourselves who sacrificed to come here. And a big round of applause for all the people who are going to come. Haribo! Shri Krishna Sankirtan Yagya Ke, Shri Baba Ke, Ganga Ma Ke, Himalayan mountains Ke, purifying wind Ke, Rishikesh Kirtan Fest 2025 Ki, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 39. Haribo! Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur Ki.